I'm excited actually for this talk tonight. We're gonna have Natalia Mota, and she's gonna talk about the Spiritist review. Strongly, like some of you that have seen me talking here, maybe. I like the basic work like of Kardec, and the Spiritist review. It's an amazing collection that we don't pay attention that much, but I actually only read the first year of it. And for 15 years, if I'm not mistaken, Kardec wrote a magazine, a monthly magazine, and he even left one issue for the month after he died. He left it ready. He died, and we had an issue already ready. So with that, Natalia, thank you so much for your work tonight.
Thank you, Rafa. Thank you, Rafael. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, the subject leaves us very excited, but it's kind of, also it's a lot of information, so I'm going to try to get the best of it. First of all, would you like to thank this house, this center, for the opportunity. It's always a blast to be here. Always give us the opportunity to study and look for other subject. The subject of today, I also would like to thank Renato Delia. He's one of the members of our house. He's not here today, but he was the one that did. I speaking about this in Portuguese. He spoke about this in Portuguese, and I like it. And I asked him if I can use something from his material. So that's why his name is there. Would you like to thank him also? And he's a very, very knowledgeable person about the Spiritism. So today I'm going to talk about this interview that happened on the Spiritist Review from 1858. So how those interviews, how those works happen with Kardec usually. Kardec, he used to work with a lot of mediums. So usually he do these mediumship meetings with more than one medium, and when he evoked the spirit, when he asked for somebody to be there to talk to him, he was the one asking the questions, so the spirit through a medium answered the questions that Kardec used to ask. And usually when he published something, after a while, if any other medium for any other part of the world have the same information, usually they write for him saying, oh my gosh, I read what you posted on the Spiritist Review, and same happened here with us. So here is our research, here is our, our study. So please, we are very happy to see that all the information that we're receiving here, you also are receiving there, and all parts of the world. So this is what give him the truth, give him, the knowledge to say, okay, this is true because more than one medium receiving the same information. This is specifically a magazine. He also talk about the plurality of the words, the worlds. Sorry, my accent. And this one, he's talking about Jupiter. First of all, before we go there, if you do not believe in life in other planets, that's okay. Nobody needs to believe in life in other planets. But I would like us to invite you to think about it. This is an article for 2019 on the National Geographic. They said then here, on the year of 2016, let's put it this bigger. It's the same information, but bigger. On 2016, a study estimated that the universe contained about 2 trillion or 2 million galaxies. Some of those are similar to our Milky Way, while others are quite different. This is from the National Geographic. Also, if you go to the website, NASA's website, and you search there about our solar system, only our solar system, not the Milky Way, only our solar system, the NASA website will bring us those informations here. So here is our planets. Here, the image is not that good here, but I brought it bigger also. We have 8 planets in our solar system, and we have 5 dwarf planets that they call dwarf planets. We have more than 200 moons, and I'm not going to even talk about asteroids and comets. Let's talk about planets and the moons right here. So if in the galaxy, in the universe, we have more than 2 trillion galaxies, and only here in our solar system, we're talking about 8, almost, let's talk, not even talk about the dwarf planets either. Thinking about this, all these planets, all these galaxies, only Earth has life. Do you think that this is smart in a certain way? Okay, God's create everything. So why God will waste his time to create all those things, but put life only here, only on Earth? We are the only beings. We are the only live beings in the whole universe. I mean, why you have so much trouble if you're not going to use it? So just think about that. It's just a question I'm putting there. If you don't believe there exists life on other planets, is your right. We are not here to change your mind. But I'm asking you to think about that. And Kardec also, he starts... he don't start actually, because again, this Spiritist Review, it's a very long study of the month of March of 1958, and in one of the pages of this review, he said that when he's talking about the plurality of the worlds, he say, everything in the universe is populated. All this information he's receiving for spirits. He's receiving through mediums. Life and intelligence are everywhere. And he also say that if it lifts us from our own inferiority, much to the contrary of this selfish and greedy thinking, which places us as the only beings worth of occupying God's mind. So, again, if you don't want to think about it, the galaxies and the planets and everything that God's create, let's at least stop being selfish and greedy and think that God's only have us, Earth, on his mind. Because come on, why he would have all the trouble to do all this work if he's not using? Again, this here, it's Kardec with the Spirits saying. So let's start what he brought on the interview. So the interview is also on the same Spiritist Review with the title Family Conversations from Beyond the Grave, Description of Jupiter. And this specific spirit that he's interviewing is Bernard Palissy. Okay? This interview happened on 9th of March of 1858. Before he started, he put a note. From previous evocations, we knew that Bernard Palissy, a famous potter of the century 16, lives in Jupiter. The following answers confirm in all points what we were told about the planet in multiple occasions by other spirits and through different mediums. Again, he always liked to confirm the information to make sure that it was truth. That's why he made the publication. Also, guys, this is a very long interview. There is a lot of information on the Spiritist magazine, on the Spiritist Review. And I cannot, to me, talk about everything. We need at least 3 hours. We don't have this time. So everything here is summarized, okay? Everything is very short, so we can talk about it a little bit. So people say, oh, come on, he lived here and now he lives in Jupiter? Yes, if you will go on Google, you will find him. This information is from Wikipedia, but you find a lot of other websites talking about Bernard Palissy. So he lived here on the around 1510. He born in 1510. And also, so here, he was not only a potter, he also works with he was a hydraulics engineer and a craftsman. Also, he gave his contributions to the natural science. He was famous for discovering principles of geology, hydrology, and fossil information. He died in 1589. from the French Wars of Religion. He was a Protestant, and religion is always a mess. Let's not go there. Just a proof that he lived here on earth also, and this was one of his lives. Was not the only life that he had here on earth. Here, just by curiosity, I brought some of his work here as a potter here on earth. He was very famous for this type of work when he lived here. So there is 82 questions, 82 answers from Kardec to Palissy. So again, I could not brought everything, but let's talk a little bit. He asked one of the questions, what was your condition here? What were you doing here on earth? And he said that he was under the aspect of a dedicated woman and was a simple mission. This was the only answer that he gave, Kardec. Following with a lot of questions, also Kardec wanna know from him, does the importance given to your work here, do you feel important on the mission that you are doing here? Does it compensate all the sufferings that you had? And the answer is amazing. Why would I care about the material work of my hands? What is important to me is the suffering that has elevated me. This was what he answered about his life. He did not care if he was famous from his work, the work that he did with his hands. The only thing that mattered for him while he was living in earth was the suffering that elevated him. And we are always complaining about our problems. We're always complaining about the difficulties that we have in life. And why? Why we complain? Because we are not elevated in spirit as he was. That's why he's living in Jupiter. We are going there. I'm going to give more information, but just making, a comparison here between him and us. So changing the subject, he was start talking about the physical state of the globe of Jupiter, the physical state of Jupiter. And before we started, let's bring another information from the NASA website. On the NASA website, they say here on the item number 9, this one I think I don't have a bigger. I'm going to read for you guys just what is important. Ingredients for life. There is ingredients for life in Jupiter. And the NASA answer, Jupiter cannot support life as we know it. Pay attention. The NASA don't say Jupiter cannot support life, period. They say Jupiter cannot support life as we know it. Look how smart NASA is. Because for sure NASA knows that there is life in other planets. They cannot put the information there yet. They will, not yet. But that's what is smart answer on the NASA website. Jupiter cannot support life as we know it. So talking about the physical state of Jupiter from a resident of Jupiter, one of the things that Kardec asked was if the sun must be seen by Jupiter's inhabitants as very small and provide very little light. Can you tell us if the light intensity is like the one here on Earth? And he answered, Jupiter is surrounded by a kind of a spiritual light related to the essence of its inhabitants. The gross light of your sun was not made for them. So this is one proof why NASA cannot tell you that exists life in Jupiter. First of all, the compose of the body of the spirit that is elevated is different of ours. The matter is light. That's why he say kind of a spiritual light. Jupiter is surrounded by a kind of a spiritual light. Their spirits much more elevated than us. So their material body is much more lighter than us. He was going to explain a little bit better pretty soon, but just putting the information there. If here on Earth, we as a spiritist, we are assuming that we believe in spirits. Because if you do not believe in spirits, you probably do not believe in spiritism. So one point saying, now if you believe in spirit and you know that spirits exist, why we cannot see them? And why there is no any type of machine or any type of material that can make us see them? If we cannot do that here on Earth, you imagine another planet? And you do imagine another planet that is far, far, far away from us? How it's possible we see spirits there if we cannot even see spirits here, the spirits that is here on our side by side with us? So, okay, I don't know what I did here. So, okay, next. He says also, yes, there is an atmosphere there, but when Kardec listened to this, he said, it's the Jupiter's atmosphere formed by the same elements of Earth's? And he says, no, men are not the same. The human beings are not the same. Their needs change. Means that if your perispirit is different, is lighter, means that your body, your needs need to change. Yes, there are water and seas in Jupiter, but the water there is more ethereal. It's not like our. It's more ethereal. It's better, right? It's lighter as well. It's extremely delicate. That's what the ethereal means. In a way that seems perfect on this world that we are. So this is one of informations that Palisse bring to us. Also, another information from NASA's website. Jupiter, twice as massive as all the other planets combined. So it's the biggest planet in our solar system. It's the biggest one. So how is possible, they say that nothing happened there? Why? Why God is going to do Earth like this and put everybody here, stuck it? And you're going to do that some magnificent thing as Jupiter? And no, let's not put anything there because we don't need it. And also on NASA's website, this on the image here is a little bit dark, but goes to the website. It's amazing, navigate there. It's super cool. They call this the Great Red Spot. And on NASA, they said the Great Red Spot is kind of a hurricane that is happening for more than 150 years in Jupiter. Okay, this is just curiosity so we can go away a little bit about this interview that is it's a lot of information. So after he talks a little bit about the physical aspects, also he goes for the physical state of the inhabitants, of the people that live there. So one of the things that Kardec asked is, can you give us an idea about their height compared to us? And he answered, large and well proportioned. Means that they are taller than us, larger than us, and also he answers, man's body is like the form of his spirit, beautiful when he is good. The covering is worth of the spirit. It is no longer a prison. Means that the spirit is completely different of ours. The perispirit there is large, but also the covering, the matter, is not a prison anymore. They can detach easier than us. As we know, for example, during our sleep, when we are sleeping, usually we detached from our material body, the perispirit. It's kind of free, but we continue having that silver cord connection, the silver connection. So, and also what he brings to us at the spirits there, they live longer than us here on Earth. So when Kardec asked him to compare, he says, we cannot compare time. And Kardec says, no, compare with our time. And he says that probably the people from Jupiter, they live about 5 centuries of ours. So more or less than 500 years, just to have an idea. Continuing, he's asked, is there a difference of sex over there? And he said, yes. That is always the case where there is matter, and it is a law of matter. So even though they are more evolved than us, they are spirits more more evolved. This is the word. I cannot use another word. I'm going to say something that will not be right. So even though they are more evolved than us, they are still not pure spirit. They are not still on the first class, first order. So they still have the difference of gender, you know, female and male. The nourishment, the type of food that they get there is purely vegetable. Man is the protector of the animals over there. So everybody in Jupiter is vegetarian. There is no other type of food. It's only vegetarian. Are men subjected to disease? They are not illness on Jupiter. The illness that is no part of the planet anymore. And this one is one of my best questions and answer. I love this one. That is life divided between sleep and wake? And they said it's between action and rest. You don't waste your life anymore. You don't waste your time anymore when you are evolved spirit. So you don't sleep and you are awake. You are asleep and you are awake. No. You are in action or you are in rest. That's the only options that you have there. And I thought that it's amazing the way that he answered. That's the type of answer that you see, oh my gosh, this is coming from a very, very intelligent spirit, but no intelligent only an education subject. Intelligent in evolution. You know, is a very intelligent the way that he answered. So again, talking, I should switch those, but just to have another proof here about the ages. On the NASA website, they say that one day in Jupiter take about of 10 hours of us. So one day there has 10 hours, but 1 year in Jupiter is ours 12 years. So 1/8 Earth complete 12 years, Jupiter is completing 1 year. This is how long the planet take to give the whole rotation to turn the sun towards the sun, complete the orbit around the sun. And this information is on NASA website. And what the guy said, that basically 500 years they live. Look, NASA saying something and it makes sense. Particularly because they are more evolved than us. So the matter is light. What happens? Of course, they're going to live more. But this is not the only explanation. They also ask, can you give us an idea about several occupations that the man has, the human beings have over there? And he said that he need to talk a lot about there. There's a lot of things, but their main function is to encourage the spirits who inhabit the inferior worlds. So look, one of the main job that they have there is encourage the spirits from worlds there is not on the same level, on the same category as Jupiter. So this is another proof why they can travel through the worlds, to the worlds. Oh my gosh, this word is terrible for us. So another proof of that information. Why he's here on Earth speaking with Kardec if he lives in another planet. That's one of the proofs, the why. Is there the boredom and displeasure with life? In Jupiter, no. The displeasure with life originates from the disregard of oneself. There is no such a thing in Jupiter. They are so connected with the good. They are so connected with the others that they do not have displeasures or boredom there. So another information that he brings is that the communication there is through thought among them. They don't speak like us. They do not communicate as us here. There, they communicate through thought. And also, when he said that, Kardec, very smart, the professor he's brilliant. So he says, is the second sight, as we were informed, a normal faculty which stays among you guys there? And he said, yes. The spirits do not have hindrance. Nothing is hidden from them. Means that they don't have any type of obstacle. They don't have any type of impediment when they want to talk with somebody, or when they want to do something, you know, that it's more intellectual, because of the second sight that they have, nothing is hidden from them. They don't have obstacles to get information, to get knowledge, all those type of things. Also continue. Does death inspire the same horror and fear as with us? I mean, how many people we know here on Earth that it has panic attacks when think about death, you know, is super, super afraid of dying, you know? And so Kardec also, it happened the same thing there, and he says, why would it be frightening? Among us, evil no longer exists. Only evil fears the last moment. It fears, it is judged. I mean, we only fear the death because we don't understand that, and because we also fear the judgment that we're gonna have, because we're learning that the society teaches us that when you die, you're going to be judged by God, by Jesus. And on our inner, deep inside, we know that we are not good people. So that's why there is so much fear of death. And there is not such a thing. Do not exist this type of thing, because evil no longer exists in Jupiter. So also he talked about the animals there. So this is very, very nice. It's one of the best informations that they bring to us, this clarification about the animal life there. First of all, he asked, there are carnivores animal? No, not even the animals are carnivores there. He said the animals do not shred mutually. They all live submitted to men and love one another, even animals. Also, he brings the information that all animals, even insects, fishes, birds, all of them are useful to the man in Jupiter. They are there to serve the mankind from Jupiter. So he asked, actually, we were told that the animals there are the workers and the foremen who execute the material tasks, build the houses, etc. Is that exact? And he said, yes. Man no longer lowers to serve his neighbor. So you imagine when you say, oh my gosh, look at all these dishes that I need to do. No, your dog is going to go there to do the dishes for you. And you say, oh, I need to do the lawn. And no, it's your cat that is going to do the lawn for you. This is what happened in Jupiter. When you need to build your house, the animals, we don't know which one, I'm just playing here, but I don't know, maybe the bulls, you know, the strong ones, you know, they go there and they build the house for you. Or I don't know, the buildings, the giraffes build the buildings for you. I don't know, I'm just playing here. I'm just saying that this information is amazing. When even the animals is much more evolved than the ones that are here. Maybe they're more evolved than humans that are here, we never know. But so also, again, I don't bring all the questions because again, will be a lot of information. So some one of them, I just bring the information there. So one of the old informations that he brings is that the serving animals, they are in the state of submission. Means that all these animals that work with the man, they are the servers of the man, they are on the state of submission. It's not that they are slaves, but they are like an employee, let's say like that, but an employee for life. You know, this is the interesting part. All the information that is brought to us from other words, a lot of times they don't have the proper words to explain to us how it works over there, because they say that our knowledge is not in the level to understand the words or to understand the concepts that they use there. So that's why sometimes it's a little bit more difficult to explain exactly how it works. But this is what he brings, that the animals there is in state of submission. And also the serving animals do not receive any compensation for their work, but they are there, they are taking care from the They have a more precise and characteristic language, means that the animals also can communicate with them. It's not like here that we don't have a language that we fully understand, but there, yes, they have a more precise language. So that's why, okay, they are not slaves. He brings this information, okay? It's just that it's too much to put it there. So change the subject a little bit from the animals to the moral state of the people that lives there. So Kardec asked, the spirits are the same or of several degrees? I should have put it here, but it's on the end of the presentation. I don't know if everybody is already familiarized with the scale of the evolution that Kardec brings to us. So here is the question about that scale. All of the spirits in Jupiter are on the same level, or they are in different degrees? And he said that is in several degrees, but of the same order. Very quickly, we have 3 orders according to Kardec. First order, second order, third order. But the first order has just 1 class, and all the other has about 4 classes each, if I'm not wrong. I'll bring the page for you, the image, very soon. So this is the information that Kardec asked, and Bernard Polassi, he answered, they are all good, all superior, but from, again, same order, different class. Sometimes good comes down to the evil, but the evil can never blend with the good. So can we understand what he's saying there? I mean, again, they are good in several levels. So good, super good, extra good, but they cannot be evil, because the evil, it's not allowed in Jupiter. Don't blame there. The evil are in other planets. I'm also going to bring this information. Very interesting. So Kardec continues, do the inhabitants from different peoples, like here on Earth, like there is different, peoples, a lot of different, yes, but they are bound from the love. Means that, okay, we are here in the United States, but we are fighting with a lot of countries on Asia, with a lot of countries, Europe or whatever. There do not exist this type of thing. There is different peoples, but all of them are bound of love. They are united with love. So this is amazing. Thus, the wars are unknown. Useless question. This was the answer. So after he said there is a lot of different peoples, he asked, so it means that you guys don't have wars there? Useless question. He just said everybody's good. There is no evil in Jupiter. And there is war there? No war at all. They are united through love. So after he listened this answer, useless question, will man on earth be able to go to the same perfection and see the war is not necessary? He will arrive to that, no doubt. The war will disappear with the egotism of people at the same time as fraternity becomes better understood. So this is amazing, this answer. These answers come together with all the Gospels, with all the Jesus teachings. I mean, as soon as we do not learn the fraternity, as soon as we do not learn about love, about servitude, we cannot learn that war are useless. Because we still want to prove who is better. I am better than them, I'm better than that, that's why. So only when we understand that, war will disappear from Earth. Also, he says that yes, the peoples are governed by rulers, and the rulers, the authority is based on the superior degree of perfection. So again, all of them is from the second order. There are 4 classes there. So means that the rulers will be on the more elevated class. Okay? The peoples are ruled by laws. This is very, very interesting, because when Kardec asked if there are laws in Jupiter, they said yes, we are ruled by laws. But, and the criminal laws, There is no crime. There is no criminal law there. So who makes the law? Look, the answer. God made them. So the law that they follow is God's law. It's not the same law that we understand here, because there is no crime over there. So they don't need the type of law or the type of punishment, because they follow God's law. We are almost done with this part, and everything else will be just cool information. So, is there rich and poor? In other words, are there men who lived in abundance, and others who lack the necessary? And the answer is amazing. No. There are all brothers. If one had more than the other, the former would share with the latter. He would not be happy when his brother was in need. Look at the beauty of this answer. Nobody lacks the necessary. Nobody has the superfluous. If my brother don't have what he need, I cannot be happy. If somebody is hungry, they don't have food, they don't have a house, they don't have healthy. If they are not healthy, I cannot be happy. That's what happened in Jupiter. So Kardec goes, a little bit more, but according to this, all fortunes are the same, all the money are the same. I did not say that they are equally rich. You asked me if there would be people with the superfluous, while other people would lack the necessary. Kardec is not satisfied, and he asks, however, if the one who has less is unhappy with the respect to the one that has more, so I have less, the other person has more than me. However, I am not happy. No, I'm not happy. No. He cannot feel unhappy if he is either jealous or envious. Look, the most amazing thing. I cannot be unhappy because my brother has more than me. Because I will only be unhappy if I'm jealous or envious. So yes, there are social inequalities, and yes, men's faculties are developed by education. So the things there is also education for the kind of intelligence education, and the faculties are developed by education. So can men acquire enough perfection on earth to deserve to go immediately to Jupiter? Yes, but man is submitted to imperfections on earth in order to be related to his neighbors. So he keeps saying, nobody here will have the superfluous if my brother don't have even the necessary. And, they cannot be unhappy if somebody has more than the other, because this is jealous and envious. And when Kardec asks, so can us here from earth go straight in the last incarnation here to Jupiter? He said, yes, you could, but you are here to work with the imperfections that you have, so you can be related with your neighbor. You can be related with one another. You can be related with the suffering that other people have. Because if you don't understand that, how are you going to live there? How are you going to live there giving everything that you have to others that don't have, if you don't understand that this is the rule, this is the God's law? It's there on the Spiritist book. All the evil that happens because you don't did good is your responsibility. We have the responsibility to do good, even though it's not for our family, it's not for our friends. We have the responsibility to do good to anyone, because we should love our neighbors how we love ourselves. And to finish the interview, Kardec asked, the spirit, Bernard Panas, also bring the information. To a spirit here from Earth reincarnating Jupiter, this spirit will need to remain on the erraticity, needed to remain errant, means in the spiritual world, for some time until he feels free himself from the earth imperfections. This is the only way, even though after the this incarnation. Okay, are you prepared to go to Jupiter? Only if you free yourself from the earth imperfections. So think about it. Are we prepared? If we die tomorrow, after this reincarnation, this incarnation, are we prepared to go to Jupiter? I'm not going to answer. Everybody can answer for yourself. And also he asked, are there multiple religions? No. All profess the good and all adore one only God. So look at the beauty of this. There is no religions over there. It's just one God. And everybody is commit. Everybody practices the good. Practice the good. And he finished with another amazing question. Are there temples and a cult? By temple, we understand that is the man's heart. And by cult, the good that he does. Look at how amazing is the answer of this spirit that is elevated. The spirit that has more virtues than us. Are temples and a cult? A temple is a man's heart. And the cult is the good that he does. Look how amazing is this. And what Jesus said to us when he was on earth. Again, this was written on 1858. God was here 2021 years ago. When he born, okay, 30 years give or take, when he started and blah, blah. He said the same thing. And now to translate that thing from the gospel in English, the kingdom is in your heart, o reino dos céus está dentro de vós. So yes, he says, my Father's, the God's kingdom is inside your heart, is inside you. Same thing. The temple is the man's heart. The cult is the good that he does. Same thing that Jesus said. There is no difference here. And he finalized the interview with this question, and Bernard finished with this answer. I mean, it's just too perfect. It's too perfect to be true. I invite every one of you guys to read more about this subject. You can find online this Spiritist review. There is amazing information there. In one of the amazing information there that I'm bringing to you guys right now is more of curiosity, actually. So I also brought here with me. So on the Spiritist review, on the subject where Kardec says Jupiter and a few other words is right here in March. Jupiter and a few other words. He brings the information from the spirits, from the elevated spirits about the planets on our solar system compared with the scale, the Spiritist scale that I was just talking to you guys during the presentation. So look at the amazing information that he brings here. Again, we have 3 orders, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. Each order has the class. So first order is the pure spirits, like Jesus, for example. And after that, we have the 2nd order and the 3rd order. Look what he say about our solar system. Mars is here on the 9th class, the last class, in pure spirits. Mars is here. Again, this is what Kardec brings to us through the information of elevated spirits in mediumship meetings on March of 1858. If you guys know any other Spiritist literature that has any other information, that's okay. Bring the information to us. I mean, bring it to you guys, the information that it is on the Spiritist Review. It's not me saying. This is information from Allan Kardec. And he brings the Earth, it's here. In all of these areas, Earth has insignificant proportion of the 1st class, the benevolent spirits. He says here, an insignificant proportion, and all of the rest is on the 4 classes of the 3rd order. So this is the majority of people on Earth. Okay, here on the 3rd order. Here again, insignificant proportion. He also says that Mercury and Saturn are in between here. When he brings the information, he say like that. Mercury and Saturn are more elevated than Earth. Okay, so Mars, Earth, and here together are Mercury and Saturn, probably with only those 3 classes. The classes specifically is not mentioned there, so it's just something that we can think about it through what he says here. Listen, numerical superiority of the good spirits, giving them predominance of the inferior spirits. So probably, if the predominance is here, probably this is the majority on Mercury and Saturn. Also, look what he mentions, the moon. Moon is not even a planet in our solar system, but the spirits bring the information to us that there is life at the moon. And the moon and Venus, they are more or less at the same level of Mercury and Saturn, and in all aspects more advanced. No, sorry, they are more or less the same, but in all aspects more advanced than Mercury and Saturn. So probably they have 1 class more here than the other 2. This is Moon and Venus. And to finalize, they bring also the information about Uranus and Neptune. Men are indefinitely happier there than on Earth, since they do not have to sustain the same struggles. So probably Uranus and Neptune will be here, you know, much more happier than Earth, but also he brings Jupiter. I think I said it wrong here, but I mean, maybe he was here, but whatever. So what he bring about Jupiter? Most advanced by all means. It is the exclusive realm of goodness and justice, since it only has good spirits. They say that there is no spirits from the 3rd order in Jupiter. All the other planets from our solar system has spirits from the 3rd order. No Jupiter. All of them but Jupiter. So Jupiter are the one that only has good spirits. So that's why when they say about the rulers, about the government in Jupiter, probably the government is only here on the superior spirit, only on the 2nd class. This is what the spirit make us understand, okay? So this is the beauty of Jupiter. And as we know also, as Chico Xavier says, since 2019, we are following the path to become, you know, benevolent spirits. We still have a lot of things to do, but was the key. Do not have another war, nuclear war, until 2019. Thank you, goodness, we were able, you know, to complete the path, complete the mission. So probably Earth now it's 1 step closer to become a benevolent, you know, become more with benevolent spirits, probably. We don't know yet. Probably we're not going to see it. The next generations is going to see it, and they will be part of it. So this is the beauty of this information on the Spiritist magazine. This also is just by curiosity. I just bring it because it's amazing. There is so many good informations. One of the other people that Kardec interviewed from Jupiter, that lives in Jupiter, it's Moser. Moser by the Spiritist magazine. He lives in Jupiter, and this is his house. See the gate here, this is his garden, the trees that it is in front of his house. So there is a lot of amazing information about Moser over there also. There is an interview with Moser as well, but Moser don't talk much about Jupiter specifically. That's why I brought Bernard Pallas today, because I really want to talk more about Jupiter, because Bernard Pallas, he says to Allan Kardec that when he talks about Jupiter, he's trying to inspire the spirits that not evolve as him to become more evolved. That's why he want to inspire the people. And when we do these public meetings with you guys, these studies with you guys, also our intention is just to inspire, to to plant a seed over there of curiosity, of goodness, and say, okay, let me learn more about myself. Let me learn more virtues and develop more virtues. So this is what we want. This is our desire, because we are doing for us, first of all, and we want to share this desire that we have, to become better human beings. So this is a very good drawing, also made to a medium, in a mediumship, that she drawn this house as Moser house. So I would like to thank you guys with, the Jesus saying on the Gospel of John. I did not translate John, I forgot it. Look what Jesus said, in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I mean, even Jesus, that was like, the Gospel of John was written, probably was composed between the year 90 or 100. I mean, 2,000 years ago. And it's the same information that we just had on the Spirit is revealed, that there is another words. There is many, many mansions in my Father's house. Many people. So let's believe it. Let's, become better so everybody can go to Jupiter, or we can transform Earth in a Jupiter. Earth can be as good as Jupiter, without evil, without illness, without disease. This is the beauty. So in the Gospel, Kardec says, the house of the Father is the universe. The different mansions are the words which circulate in infinite space and offer the spirits who incarnate on them dwelling places which correspond their progress. So this is the explanation of John Gospel on the Gospel according to Spiritism on the chapter 3. This is what Kardec and these good spirits, the elevate spirits, bring to us, explaining what means different mansions. It means all the universe, all the words. Let's be less selfish and believe that we have brothers and sisters everywhere in the galaxy, in the universe, so we can stop thinking that we are the best. And become, looking for virtues, looking to get better. This was what I would like to bring it to you guys today. This was I just said the word and I forgot it again. Inspire. This is the inspiration that I would like to bring you guys today, to look for more information. Go through the Spiritist information, the magazines, the reviews, all the books, Spiritist book, the Gospel according to Spiritism. What is the name of the Heaven, Cell, Inferno, in Heaven and Hell, and the other one that is amazing, the Genesis. So look for the literature that is from Allan Kardec, because it's amazing what the professor did. It's amazing all the work that he brought to us on those years. Thank you very much, and I wish you guys a good night.